Yo, welcome back to the House where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics, y'all. I'm excited because I want to go ahead and talk Housewives. All right, so I haven't been on here in a while, but I thought it was interesting because Lonnie Love, I love Lonnie Love. I love Lonnie Love. She went on to Watch What Happens live. I have no clue what she was promoting. Maybe her stand up. Maybe, who knows? She went on to Watch What Happens live with Andy Cohen and whatnot, and they asked her about Tamar Braxton. If you guys can recall, remember Tamar Braxton went on to the Nene Leakes show and basically called Lonnie Love a big back Cadillac because she's stuck in the past. She's stuck in 2016 and still believes that Lonnie Love, out of everyone, in that chain of command in TV world with that production company, she believes Lonnie Love had the power to influence her firing. So anyway, she called Lonnie Love a big back Cadillac, and then I think BET Awards weekend, she did some press and apologized about the situation because that's what Tamar Braxton does. She'll say something crazy, she'll ignite some sort of old beef, and then a few weeks later, she apologizes about the situation. Anyways, Lonnie Love went on to Watch What Happens live and was like, child, I don't really care nothing about that. I ain't got no beef. Okay. I ain't got no beef. Don't talk to me. Okay. So good for Lonnie. Good for Lonnie for being mature about the situation. Good for her for being, the bigger person. Okay, wait a minute. I was not supposed to say that. Okay, scratch that. Good for her for just being the more mature, the better person. The better person. Okay, good for her for being the better person. Because yeah. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Tamar is so petty. Tamar did something else recently that I don't even remember. Anyways, along with that, it was so interesting. What I really wanted to speak on is the fact that she had this segment on to the show where it was like Lonnie's unpopular opinions. I believe the first one was, what was the first one? It was like, on these reality TV shows, producers or the executives they need to stop firing the cast mates who do bad things. Her second unpopular opinion was, I think it was they need to segregate the shows. Okay, leave the Caucasian housewife shows or reality TV shows Caucasian, no DEI. And then I think her third one, I forgot the third one, but I'll go ahead and play it.
You have to stop removing people from shows because they do something bad. I know it's unpopular, but I feel like we need to see it through.
I do not disagree.
Oh, okay.
Number two.
For traditional Caucasian franchises, stop putting random people of color on those shows just to put them on, because to me it messes up the storyline and then we get into something else instead of the actual stuff.
But I do agree. Well, I'll say this. A lot of folks thought she was talking about Kenya Moore, okay, because we do know that Kenya Moore sat up there with a poster board showing some lady sucking a dick, at her salon grand opening and things of that nature, and she was reprimanded and stuff like that. And Andy Cohen, was seemingly agreeing. He was like, yeah, I agree. Okay, they're saying leave the problematic people onto the show. When she said that, I really wasn't thinking about Kenya. I was thinking about Love Island when they got rid of Sierra for using, a racial slur some time ago onto social media. And then I think in the first or second episode, they got rid of this lady named Yulissa who used the N-word years ago onto social media. And I kind of feel like, okay, should they be held accountable? Yes. Should they receive backlash? Sure, absolutely. Okay, why are we using racial slurs? Let's not normalize those things. However, I feel like if they're already on the island and they're shooting a show, if we dig up their past and we found out that they may have used a racial slur, we just kick them out. Like, to me, that was like a slippery slope. Like, okay, so what is the hard line then? Okay, what is too problematic to be onto the show, especially if it's something that happened in the past? I could understand, them saying those racial slurs on the island, on the Love Island and whatnot, but like some of this stuff was like a long ass time ago. So it's like, okay, yeah, I agree. Like, shun them. They deserve backlash, but I'm like, so you mean to tell me that if you ever said that word once onto social media and the producers didn't catch it before you got onto the show, they're going to let you be on the island for 6 weeks and then boot you off. And to me, it's a slippery slope because what are all the offensive terms that you are not allowed to say? Like, is it only when it pertains to race? Or does it pertain to ableist comments? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what are the boundaries? Like, I just don't really understand it. Anyways, so a lot of people were attributing Lonnie's comments to Kenya because, again, she showed the dick on the poster board at the grand opening for the salon and whatnot. And honestly, I think her verbiage was, y'all need to stop firing people who do bad things and, see the storyline through. And I agree, but in Kenya's particular case, I don't feel like Bravo cares about ethics. I don't think Bravo cares about morals, right? I don't think they're looking at, oh, what Kenya did is good or was it bad? I feel like they're looking at it in, we want to save our asses, trying to, get rid of a liability versus, oh, she did something bad, so let's fire her. You know what I mean? So, and the ironic thing about the situation is they fired her and she still got a lawsuit. She as in Bravo and NBC Universal and Truly Original and all those girls. So yeah, a super, super interesting situation. And then I agree with the segregation part. Yeah, let's keep these Housewives shows segregated because I just kind of feel like integrating Beverly Hills ruined Beverly Hills. I feel like low-key integrating New York City, like as soon as they integrated when it came to New York City, it all went to hell in a handbasket. Is that the saying? Hell in a handbasket? Like it all went to hell. Right? Because I feel like a lot of these white women, they don't know how to interact with black women, and then the storylines become about race, and then it becomes uncomfortable, and then it just pisses me off because as a black viewer, I have to watch it and I feel for the black person and I'm pissed off for the black person. Okay. One of the reasons why I stopped watching Big Brother is because they would barely have any black people on, and the black people that they had on, they would just mistreat them and just do them wrong. And they would always get the short end of the stick, and I couldn't watch it no more. I just said, fuck it. I can't watch Big Brother no more because it triggers me too bad. That's how I feel about the integrated Housewives shows. I just kind of feel like the producers feel like, oh, well, let's just do something different. Oh, I have an idea. Let's add a black lady on. And then they add a black lady on, and the black lady is having issues getting along with the girls because it may be some sort of, I don't know, cultural difference. I don't fucking know. But, you got the white girls with the microaggressions and the low-key racism, and they don't know how to talk, and they say this, and they call them aggressive, and whatever. And then I have to watch it, and then I have to be pissed off. So I low key agree. Like, just keep the white shows white. Keep the white shows white. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. I feel like when Garcelle joined Beverly Hills, it went to hell. I feel like, what else? When Ebony joined Real Housewives of New York, when Noella joined Real Housewives of Orange County, when Crystal even with Beverly Hills, she could not get along with those girls to save her life. What's the other one? Katie Janella on Orange County. Why is it 7 white girls against this one Asian girl? That just don't sit right in my, Speaking of race and Housewives, let's talk about Miami and Gertie. Can we replace Kiki? I loved Kiki. I feel like Kiki's fabulous. I wanted to see more of Kiki. But the more I saw Kiki Barth, I believe her name is, the less I wanted to see Kiki Barth. Because I'm thinking, okay, Kiki, she black, Gertie black, they both Haitian, they're going to have each other's backs, and wrong. Kiki seems to me like she want to be up the white ladies' butts. and you see that your Haitian sister is being blackballed, you see that your Haitian sister is being isolated, you see that your Haitian sister is on an island by herself, you see that there's a disparity, that there's some unfair treatment going on, when they're more upset about text messages about a cruise ship than they are about a physical assault. This white lady throwing water at a black light. When Gertie gets water thrown at her by Julia, for whatever reason, they was beefing and Julia threw water at Gertie, totally unwarranted. It's kind of like we just gonna sweep that under the rug, act like it never happened, because guess what? We don't too much like Gertie anyway. So sorry, Gertie. It was kind of like when Mia got she threw, I think, a drink at Wendy, and Mia and Giselle, who was it? Giselle and Robin, they were recording, and it was like, oh well, because we don't like you, we don't mind that you got assaulted. That's how it felt on Miami. Oh, Gertie, because you are our least favorite. Okay, you're different. You're black, you're Haitian, you're bald. We can't relate to you. We just gonna sweep the fact that you got assaulted under the rug and just kind of keep it moving. But we will be upset with you once you release text messages at your party of communications that you had between you and Julia. Yeah, we'll be upset at that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think Stephanie said in an interview, I think she went on Watch What Happens Live and said, oh, I just want Gertie to just get over it, move on. Stephanie, I'm going to need you to charter that private jet and get the fuck on out of here. Like, what? What? Get over it? Okay. So obviously there's a disconnect, and I want to know what the disconnect is, okay? And I was extra pissed off. The reason why I was going back to Kiki, the reason why I was pissed off at Kiki, because in the very beginning of the season, before that water throwing incident ever happened, Kiki sat Gertie down and was like, Gertie, none of the girls like you because you do too much. You're too extra. I'm like, Kiki, you're supposed to have her back. You're supposed to be a voice for her. Okay, you're supposed to stand up for her. You're supposed to, support Gertie. You're supposed to support her and who she is, and, support her being her authentic self. But instead, you telling her to pipe down, calm down, tone it down so that you can appease these white women, these white Cubans. No, honey, no. No. That's not how that works. So I'm just a little bit disappointed in the situation. I feel like Gertie's only true real friend, which was Nicole, is no longer onto the show. And it desperately shows that she's not on the show, because I do feel like Gertie's on an island by herself, and I feel like it's unfair, and I'm sticking to my stomach. It's disgusting. It is so disgusting to see, it triggers me when I see that it's always the women of color who I feel like are so misunderstood, and like the outliers, and like the black sheep. Almost kind of like how Riley was feeling when everybody was, doing the microaggressions and mocking her black sin and making it seem like she was aggressive toward them other white girls. And it just was kind of like, it's triggering. It's fucking triggering. It's fucking triggering. And I'm not saying that you have to treat the women of color with kid gloves. I think that, the saying, I think that's the saying. I'm not saying that you have to tiptoe around the women of color, but I feel like when it comes to trying to understand the perspective of some of these women, it's like it don't click for the white girls. You know what I mean? It's just it don't click. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. What else did I want to talk about? I think I'm gonna talk about some older stuff. Me interviewing Portia drunk. I think I recently saw Carlos King. I think I saw him at the bar a few nights ago. I think I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what else I want to talk about. Oh, they say K Michelle and Pinky supposed to be on the next season. So I'm gonna talk some more about Atlanta in my next video. Okay, so stay tuned. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.